Hello, my preschool friends. I'm missing you since we're not at preschool this week, so I thought that I would get a book to read to you, and then we'll have an activity afterwards. We were supposed to be talking about transportation this week, and one of the things that we talk about with transportation is vehicles and all the way that vehicles travel. They carry things from one place to another, and they can travel lots of different ways. They can travel in the sky, they can travel on the land, and they can travel in the water. So the story I picked today is a story about an airplane where they're traveling in the air. It's called Angela's Airplane, and it's by Robert Munsch, and Michael Martchenko is the illustrator. Now it's interesting, this author used kids to help him write his stories. So I wonder when you're listening to it if you'll pick up on some of the ideas that the kids had to help write this story. Angela's Airplane. Angela's father took her to the airport, but when they got there, a terrible thing happened. Angela's father got lost. Angela looked under the airplanes and on top of the airplanes and beside the airplanes, but she couldn't find him any place. So Angela decided to look inside an airplane. She saw one with an open door and she climbed up the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right to the top. Her father was not there, and neither was anyone else. Angela had never been in an airplane before. In the front, there was a seat that had lots of buttons all around it. Angela loved to push buttons, so she walked up to the front, sat down in the seat, and said to herself, "It's okay if I push just one button. Don't you think it's okay if I push just one button?" "Oh, yes, it's okay. Yes, 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 yes." Then she slowly pressed the bright red button. Right away, the door closed. Angela said, "It's okay if I push just one more button. Don't you think it's okay if I push just one more button?" "Oh, yes, it's okay. Yes, 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 yes." Slowly, she pushed the yellow button. Right away, the lights came on. Angela said, "It's okay if I push just one more button. Don't you think it's okay if I push just one more button?" "Oh, yes, it's okay. Yes, 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 yes." She pushed the green button, and right away the motor came on. Vroom, 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 vroom. Angela said, "Yikes!" And she pushed all the buttons at once. The airplane took off and went right up into the air. Then Angela looked out the window. She saw that she was very high in the sky. She didn't know how to get down. The only thing to do was to push one more button. So she slowly pushed the black button. It was the radio button. A voice came on the radio and said, "Bring back that airplane, you thief, you." Angela said, "My name is Angela. I am 5 years old and I don't know how to fly airplanes." "Oh dear," said the voice, "what a mess." "Listen very carefully, Angela. Take the steering wheel and turn it to the left." Angela turned the wheel and very slowly the airplane went in a big circle and came back right over the airport. "Okay," said the voice, "now pull back on the wheel." Angela pulled back on the wheel and the airplane slowly went down to the runway. It hit once and bounced. It hit again and bounced. Then one wing scraped the ground. Right away, the whole plane smashed and broke into little pieces. Angela was left sitting on the ground and she didn't even have a scratch. All sorts of cars and trucks came speeding out of the terminal. There were police cars and ambulances, fire trucks and buses, and all sorts of people came running. But in front of everybody was Angela's father. He picked her up and said, "Angela, are you all right?" "Yes," said Angela. "Oh, Angela," he said, "the airplane is not all right. It is in very small pieces." "I know," said Angela. "It was a mistake." "Well, Angela," said her father, "promise me you will never fly another airplane." "I promise," said Angela. "Are you sure?" said the father. Angela said very loudly, "I promise, I promise, I promise. Angela didn't fly an airplane for a very long time, but when she grew up, she didn't become a doctor. She didn't become a truck driver. She didn't become a secretary, and she didn't become a nurse. She became an airplane pilot. The end. Now, one thing we like to do in our class is to make paper airplanes. So if you go to the next video, I'll show you how you can make a paper airplane of your very own. Thanks.